Welcome to another episode of Bros Resource Room, and it is accountability time. That means I'm going to ask you a question, and you are going to either respond in your head with, no, 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 I don't think so, I'm okay. Or you're going to have that good old response like, yeah, she's talking to me, ouch. Or you're going to be in complete denial and just say, no, 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 I think I'm good in that area. So the question today is, how do you know if you're doing too much? Are you doing too much? Are you doing too much? So I'm not talking about the person who is constantly starting a new curriculum and not being consistent because they forgot that they were even doing it. I'm not talking about another activity in terms of you put your kid in the fifth activity. So not only are they doing football, basketball, baseball, and swimming, but you decided, oh, maybe little Johnny needs this too. And I'm not even talking about you as a home educator. I'm talking about in your personal life, and all those things are going to, play into it. But I'm not talking specifically with your children. I'm talking about what you're taking on in your personal life. Sometimes we feel tired to the point of like complete fatigue and exhaustion. And we start to look at our personal list of things to do. And we realize that urgent thing is getting carried over day by day. Because by the time you do all the things that you need to do or that you think you need to do, you're completely wiped out and you cannot do another thing. So you go to bed with that important urgent item on your to-do list. We don't need a moon shoot, people. We need systems, we need structures, and we need strategies. If you are constantly feeling fatigued, it may be a telltale sign that there are too many things on your calendar and your calendar needs some empty spots, or you need to say no to some things. So if that's you, it sounds like you're juggling a lot and you're feeling tired to the point of exhaustion and have an urgent task lingering on your to-do list. These are definitely signs that you may be taking on too much. So before we jump into some thoughts or steps or tips, if you're feeling judged, don't. How do I know this? How do I know that it's possible that you're taking on too much? Because that's me. All my stories come from something that I'm dealing with, right? So, like the whole concept of experts, it's they have lived experience. So I am a productivity coach. And the reason I'm a productivity coach is because I found a time in my life in 2013 where I was engaged to a man that I've been dating that year. We got married. 11 months later, we had a baby. 2 years later, we had another baby. And I was like, wait, I was a single girl with not even a pet or a plant. Whose life is this? Whose kids are these? And why are they calling me mom? Right? Like so much change in my life over a short time. And I had all these goals, all these dreams that I still wanted to accomplish. And I'm like, motherhood is not a graveyard. This is not where dreams go to die. I need to figure out how to be productive and still do all these things on the list that I want to accomplish. And through trial and error, I figured out some things that work, and I've definitely found out some things that don't work. And I found myself 2 days ago just going to bed completely exhausted. And I'm like, I know better than this. What am I doing? Why am I feeling this way? It's because I wanted to be everything to everyone. I wanted to be the fun mom who said yes to all the play dates, so I did. I wanted to be the woman who has the traveling lifestyle, so I traveled. I wanted to be the mom who made sure that my kids had fresh food and that my husband had a fresh meal when it was time for breakfast or lunch or dinner. So I did. And I wanted to be the mom who was on top of the kids' schedule. So I was making sure that in the midst of everything else that was going on with my um, work, my advocacy, public policy work, I was still doing all the things. And eventually it led to burnout. So 2 days ago, I was just like, this is not okay. I need to really evaluate my schedule and listen to my body because my body is screaming, stop, sit down, no more, and I don't want my body to shut down on me. So I'm not going to keep pushing it. So again, if you're feeling like, who is this lady and why is she telling me about my life and why is she judging me? No, I'm just looking for company. Just kidding. I am just trying to help us together in community, right? I have felt it and I'm feeling it right now. Like I am overly exhausted and I know a big part of it is the food that I've been eating. I've been on a really, like, I have not been eating clean for the last week or so. And I'm really feeling it. It's making me sluggish. It's making me tired. It's making me foggy. So in addition to doing all these other things for all these other people, my family, people I love, I have not been treating myself well. So if you are like me, even a fraction, I encourage you to evaluate your schedule. Look at that calendar. Take a close look at your calendar and your commitments. Are there too many back-to-back activities or responsibilities? Are you jumping from one thing to another? Are you jumping from one Zoom to another? Are you jumping from one meeting to another? Because if you are, chances are you're exhausted because you're having all these meetings, but there's no free time to actually do the thing that you just met about. So now you're finding time after your 5, 6, 7 hours of meetings to do additional work, like to do the real work, right? Maybe it's commitments. You're going to the music class, and then you're going to the library, then you're going to the sports activity, then you're going swimming, and you're doing all these things. And the end goal is to give your kid a well-rounded lifestyle, but you're tired, right? So, look at your list and think about it. Are there any things that are non-essential? Are there any things that you can really move off your plate? Or maybe they are important commitments, but can it be delegated, right? Maybe you can't eliminate, but can you delegate it? Maybe you carpool with a friend, so at least for that one time you're not driving. Or maybe you and a trusted parent say, okay, I'll take the kids today, and that's going to give me an hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then you take turns. Figure out creative ways to make things happen. It may not be that you have to clear your schedule completely, but if the things that are on it are really important to you, you have to figure out how to get it done without burning out. The second thing I would suggest is the thing that I'm not doing, which is listening to your body. Pay attention to your physical and mental signs of fatigue and burnout. If you're constantly feeling tired or feeling irritable or you're feeling overwhelmed, it's probably a sign that you need to scale back. And it doesn't mean that you have to scale back forever. It doesn't mean you have to scale back permanently or for the entire quarter. It may be that you just need to take that one day off. You know what? We're going to skip this class today. You know what? We're going to skip this week. Or I'll talk about this later. The importance of saying no, because I know that's a tough one for a lot of people, including me. I would also say that we need to prioritize. We need to identify our most important tasks and responsibilities and focus on those. It's so easy for us to get caught up in trying to do everything, but prioritizing can really help us allocate our time and our energy and our resources more efficiently and more effectively. So let's talk about learning to say no. No, period, is a full sentence. And I know that sounds mean and it sounds a little harsh, but what I realized is I got a little bit better with being able to say no, but it was no because, and no this, and I was like constantly explaining myself, but sometimes the answer is just no. Can you? No. Are you? No. Do you? Just no. So it's okay to decline new commitments or requests if you're feeling overwhelmed. And for me, I think sometimes I can be very extreme, like all or nothing. When I had my baby, I didn't sign up for a community because I knew this about myself. If I sign up for something, I am going in. Like it doesn't matter if it's rain, snow, sleet. It doesn't matter. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I am coming. Come on, three kiddos. We're swimming across the river because I said yes to something and I need to honor my word. So what I realized is a lot of times because I don't want to not honor my commitments or because I don't want to cancel or reschedule on people, I would still show up regardless of how I'm feeling, regardless of how much I really need the time off. And I was like, people prepare to be somewhere. So it could be a Zoom. People may say, I'm going to meet you at 3 o'clock. And for them, that means they have to make sure that the kids are fed and that they're well situated and all these things. So when I cancel, I just feel like it's so rude and it's such a dishonor to someone's time and to someone's commitment. But what I realized is even though I'm quote unquote showing up, I'm physically present, but I may not be mentally present. I may not be as sharp as I want to. I may not be as fully present as I want to because I'm tired. So yes, I'm showing up, but am I really showing up? Right. So that's something that I had to think about. And now I still don't like to cancel and I still don't do it very often or probably never. But I've had to learn how to evaluate what I say yes to and taking on new commitments. Like there's a stand-in appointment. I may, I'll keep those because I said yes to it. Or if a couple weeks in advance, I'll say, hey, I'm not going to be able to jump on this one. But it's really, really important for us to say no, as difficult as it can be, but it's essential for maintaining our well-being. We need to establish boundaries. Set boundaries around your time and energy. Don't be afraid to communicate your limits to others and protect your personal time. I remember even saying to like my 1 year old, like, no, you have to sleep. This is my time. I need my time. And I know he's looking at me like, it's not that I don't understand. I just don't care. Like, I'm going to come to you whenever I need to. I'm gonna wake up whenever I want to because he's the boss. He's like literally right here. So if you see like a hand go up or something, that's my baby who decided that he needed to wake up in the middle of this recording. But anyways, I just think we need to make sure that we're doing those things that I talked about. Evaluating your schedule, listening to your body is so, so important. Prioritizing, learning to say no, and just really establishing boundaries. It could mean that it could be time boundaries. You may say to your kids, okay, today we're doing a block from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you don't finish what you need to do in this time, then I have office hours. You can see me at 3 o'clock, but when I'm doing my personal time, you can't come to me. Or it may just be that you have personal time, like you literally schedule in 15 minutes, and that's the time when everybody does their quiet reading, or they go up and play, or they do whatever they need to do. And you get 15 minutes, not 15 minutes where you're washing the dishes or 15 minutes when you're cooking dinner, 15 minutes of no agenda, nothing. And then you do whatever you want. You can sit, you can think, you can write, you can journal, you can lay down, you can take a nap, whatever. If you can't schedule in an hour or 2 hours for yourself a day or 30 minutes, at least try for 10 to 15 minutes. The bathroom is a great one. Sit in the bathroom for 10 minutes, right? Let the water run. Do something. Just figure out how to get yourself on the calendar where for 10 to 15 minutes, it is time for you so that you can be refreshed for yourself and also for your family. So it's important to just find, a system that works for you. I talked about systems and structures and strategies, and it's really about how do you maximize your life so that you can prevent burnout and exhaustion? How do you make sure that you have a strategy in place that works? It may not be something that you do once and it just automatically works. It may be something that you tweak, pivot, try again. It may be something that you're constantly trying. Even with, like school schedule, maybe you say, you like to do 8 to 12, or you like to do 10 to 2, or you like to do whatever it is. If something is not working, maybe it's time to reevaluate that. Because if you're finding that you're exhausted and you're tired and you're fatigued to the point of burnout, it's time to do something differently, right? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. So go ahead and figure out what's not working and then create a system that works. Now, I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. My issue is not creating system. My growth area is staying consistent to set system. So a lot of times I create a system and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But then I don't follow the system long enough. So consistency is something that I'm working on in my personal life. But try to come up with a system that works, a system that builds time in for your personal maintenance, a system that builds time in for your well-being, a system that builds time in for your spiritual development. Maybe the system is you do Bible study with your kids. Maybe the system is you stay up 15 minutes later after your kids go to bed, or you wake up 15 minutes earlier. And I keep saying 15 because I feel like 15 is a more practical number. Like an hour, you're probably like, I'm already going to bed too late. I'm already doing these things too late. But if you can really carve out 15 minutes. So I am going to make a conscious, intentional effort tomorrow to do whatever energizes me for 15 minutes and take a break in between. Like I know what my schedule looks like for tomorrow. So about 1 o'clock, I'm going to decompress. And I can't hold you accountable, but I really do hope that you will hold yourself accountable to doing whatever you need to do. For you, it may not be rest, it may be something else, but whatever it is that you need, you know what it is. Just go ahead and try to incorporate that and find something that works. Some more structure, more systems and strategy. All right, so talk to you soon. Like, subscribe, share, drop something in the comments. I look forward to our next time meeting here.